Chapter 1. The courtroom of consequence. The morning air in courtroom 3C carried the thick, tense stillness that only true anticipation can create. The faint whir of the air conditioning vents blended with the low hum of whispered conversations among spectators. Rows of polished oak benches gleamed under the sunlight streaming through the tall windows, casting golden rectangles across the marbled floor. Everything, from the cool temperature to the faint smell of dust and old paper, suggested that today would be significant. At precisely 11:37 a.m., the heavy double doors swung shut behind the last few observers. Journalists sharpened their pencils. Police officers straightened their shoulders. The room seemed to inhale collectively. Judge Margaret Hollister, a woman whose reputation stretched far beyond county borders for her balanced but unyielding judicial philosophy, sat high on the bench with an air of controlled authority. Dressed in a deep black robe, her hair neatly pinned into a bun streaked with the silver of experience, she adjusted her spectacles and opened the thick case file stacked before her. The name printed across the top page read, "The State of Riverdale vs. Olivia Ellen Harding." But the ink on the page could not capture the storm of chaos and consequence that had brought them all into this room. Standing at the defendant's podium was 17-year-old Olivia Harding, a tall, striking girl with sharp cheekbones and an expression that danced dangerously between boredom and irritation. Her chestnut brown hair was tied into a high ponytail that cascaded behind her like a whip of impatience. She wore designer sneakers, a soft beige sweater, and dark jeans, clothes that belonged more to a casual brunch than a court of law. Yet it wasn't her clothes that caught the attention of the courtroom. It was her posture, the way she held herself as if she were far above the consequences about to unfold, as if everyone else in the room existed on a level beneath her. Her fingers drummed against the wooden railing. Her jaw tightened every time the judge looked in her direction. Her eyes occasionally flitted toward the exit door with a silent plea. Why is this taking so damn long? Behind her, seated at the second row with a cane resting against his knee, was the man she had assaulted, Mr. Arthur Bennett, age 78, retired U.S. Air Force navigator, decorated veteran, lifelong resident of Riverdale, survivor of 3 near-fatal missions. His hands shook slightly, not from fear, but from old nerve damage sustained decades ago. His steel blue eyes were gentle, almost too gentle for someone who once navigated war zones. His silver hair was neatly combed to the side. His olive-green jacket, adorned with faded patches, hinted at a life of service, sacrifice, and stories untold. Today, however, he looked impossibly small, worn down not by age, but by the humiliation he had suffered at the hands of someone young enough to be his granddaughter. Chapter 2. The accusation unfolds. The courtroom clerk rose. His voice echoed in the chamber. Case number 4412C, the State versus Olivia Ellen Harding. Charges include assault and battery on an elderly citizen, harassment, verbal abuse, willful endangerment, disorderly conduct, intimidation of officers. Olivia shifted her weight, boredom etched across her face. Judge Hollister examined her. "Miss Harding, do you understand the charges brought against you today?" Olivia shrugged. "It wasn't even serious. People are acting like I committed a murder or something." A murmur spread among the spectators. She continued, "He just fell. It's not my fault old people lose their balance. Maybe they shouldn't be walking around alone if they're that fragile." Mr. Bennett exhaled softly. His eyes lowered. For him, the pain was less about the fall and more about the indignity. Judge Hollister's expression hardened. "Miss Harding, your comments today do nothing to help your case." Olivia rolled her eyes. "I'm just saying the truth." Chapter 3. The video that changed everything. The prosecutor, Miss Diana Crawford, stepped forward. "Your Honor, the state requests permission to present video evidence." Granted. 3 screens lit up. Camera 1, park security. Mr. Bennett is seen walking slowly with his cane along the concrete pathway. Birds chirp. The trees rustle gently. Children play in the distance. Then Olivia enters the frame, walking quickly, laughing with two friends. She says loudly, "Move, you're blocking the whole path." Mr. Bennet tries to shift aside. Olivia pushes him sharply. He falls onto the pavement. Olivia smirks and nudges his leg with her foot. "Next time don't stand in front of people." Laughter echoes behind her. Camera 2, civilian phone footage. The video zooms in on Olivia's expression. She doesn't look sorry. She doesn't look startled. Her face is filled with annoyance, as if his fall is an inconvenience to her. Camera 3, officer body cam. When police approach, Olivia says, "Do you know who my father is? You're making a mistake. He'll handle this." The courtroom was frozen. The silence felt like pressure building in the air, waiting to erupt. Olivia crossed her arms. "That video doesn't show everything. We were just messing around." Judge Hollister replied, "It shows more than enough." Chapter 4. A man enters and the room turns. The courtroom doors opened again. A tall, broad-shouldered man entered, his presence electric enough to turn heads instantly. Chief Jonathan Harding, the city's police chief. Normally he walked with authority, confidence, and precision. The kind of man whose uniform was always crisp, whose voice commanded respect. But today, his uniform wasn't pressed. His face was lined with exhaustion. His steps were slow, heavy, almost defeated. Olivia straightened, relief washing over her face. "Dad, finally, tell them this is blown way out of proportion. They're acting like I heard him on purpose. Please fix this." But the chief didn't move toward her. He didn't even look at her. He took a quiet seat in the back row. Olivia stared at him, confused, almost offended. She whispered harshly, "Dad, what are you doing? Come here." He didn't respond. Something in Olivia's stomach tightened. Chapter 5. The Father's Confession. Judge Hollister spoke. "Chief Harding, you requested to address the court." Chief Harding stood. "Yes, Your Honor, but I'm not speaking as a police chief today." He paused, gripping the edge of the bench slightly, steadying himself. "I'm speaking as a father who has made a very serious mistake." Olivia felt the floor shift beneath her. Her father's voice cracked. "For years, I have excused my daughter's behavior. I convinced myself she was strong-willed, independent, misunderstood. I overlooked the complaints, the school reports, the trouble. I always dismissed it as minor." He took a breath. "But last week, she crossed a line I can't ignore." His eyes flickered toward Mr. Bennet. "And she hurt a man who once saved my life." The gasp that rippled through the room sounded like a wave crashing. Olivia's head snapped up. "What? What are you talking about?" Chief Harding swallowed hard. "When I was 23, during a rescue mission, I was swept into a river. The currents were freezing. My vest was torn. I started sinking." He turned toward Mr. Bennet. "And this man, Arthur Bennet, jumped in and pulled me out, risking his own life." Olivia's knees weakened. Her father continued. "He performed CPR until medics arrived. I wouldn't be alive today without him." Tears filled Olivia's eyes. "Dad, I didn't know. You never asked," he said softly. "You never cared to know." Chapter 6. Testimonies of Truth. Officer Daniel Reeves approached the stand. He explained how Olivia had belittled them at the scene. "My dad will fix this. I'm not scared of any of you. You're wasting your time." The courtroom shook its head in collective disappointment. Then Mr. Bennet, with difficulty, stood. Judge Hollister asked, "Would you like to address the court, Mr. Bennet?" He nodded. His voice trembled not from fear but age. "I am not angry," he began, "just saddened." He turned toward Olivia. "You are young, strong, intelligent. You have years ahead of you, years that men like me only dream of reclaiming." He touched his chest above his heart. "But you used that strength to push down someone who could no longer defend himself." Olivia's tears finally fell. "But," he continued gently, "that doesn't mean you're lost. It means you need guidance." Chapter 7. The sentence. Judge Hollister spoke with authority. "Miss Harding, the court does not seek punishment. It seeks responsibility." She listed the terms clearly. Heavy checkmark 320 hours of community service. With elderly veterans, heavy checkmark mandatory behavioral counseling. 20 sessions. Heavy checkmark full payment of medical expenses. heavy check mark, a handwritten letter of apology, heavy check mark, a 5,000-word S. On empathy, heavy check mark, weekly court check-ins. For 6 months, Olivia nodded, sobbing. I'll do it, I'll do everything. Chapter 8. The long road of change, very extended for the next 4 months. Olivia's life became unrecognizable. Week 1. Hostility at the Riverside Veteran Support Center. Veterans avoided her. Staff barely acknowledged her. She was assigned cleaning duties, bathrooms, hallways, wheelchairs. She hated it. Week 2. Humbling BGINNINGS. She assisted elderly veterans with mobility devices. They ignored her presence, unwilling to trust. Week 3. First breakthrough. She helped Sergeant Howard, a man whose hands shook too violently to hold utensils. She fed him patiently. He whispered, "Bless you, dear." Something inside her cracked open. Week 5. The library project. She alphabetized 700 books, cataloged 200 magazines, fixed shelves, sorted journals. While working, she overheard veterans sharing war memories, stories of brotherhood, loss, survival, and sacrifice. Her respect for them grew. Week 7, she started staying late voluntarily. Week 8, the day she feared, Mr. Bennett arrived for therapy. Olivia froze. He smiled warmly. "You're doing well, Olivia," she cried, sincerely, painfully. Week 10, she pushed wheelchairs, sorted medicines, fixed meal trays, played chess, read books aloud. She became different. Week 14, the staff trusted her. Veterans smiled when she entered. Some asked for her by name. For the first time in years, Olivia felt useful, wanted, human. Chapter 9. Final judgment. 4 months later, Olivia returned to Courtroom 3C, but this time she stood calmly. Her posture was humble, her voice soft yet steady. Judge Hollister reviewed the reports. Hours exceeded by 80, counseling, completed letters written, essay. Heartfelt. Veterans praised her dedication, no misconduct, no attitude problems. Mr. Bennett rose. "I forgive her," he said, "and I am proud of her transformation." Her father wiped tears silently. Judge Hollister closed the case file. "Case dismissed. Miss Harding, I hope you continue choosing the better version of yourself." Olivia nodded, tears rolling freely. This time not out of fear, but gratitude.